Yo, what up you guys, MxgicIQ here, and today I have the top 5 best ways for you guys to instantly get faster in the Crew Motorfest. Here playing in the background is just some gameplay I got with the Jesco. Sadly, I only got number 2 in the world right now for that race. I'm about 2 or 3 seconds off. I would have beat the run by about a clear second or two, but I literally crashed last second, overtook a corner just a little bit too hard with the nitrous, got in the gutter a little too deep, and it just threw the car around, and I shot the shortcut a little bit too short and ran straight into a tree. So had to happen that way, but it's all good. This gameplay I got in the background is very good as well, and we have a couple other world records in this video, one being with the F12 and another being with the high-low event in the Donut Media playlist as well, also being the 370Z Nismo. That run is amazing as well and super versatile because you have to go from a slow car to a fast car, and I'm going to talk about some of those differences today, and I'm going to go over 5 key topics that will instantly help you get faster. I promise. There's literally no way it doesn't improve your time by at least a second. Alrighty guys, let's get straight into it. We're not going to waste any time here. Number 5. Now this is actually something that helps you get faster in most racing games, and that is using manual. So you can use the sequential option in this game. If you actually have a wheel, using your clutch with certain cars will be faster than controller. So wheel is actually faster on this game, which I've heard from a few sources. It's just the consistency that you're probably going to have a problem with, because on the controller it's a lot easier to control the vehicle, but there's steering input lag in this game, and we're going to touch on that a little bit later with a couple settings that will help you out there as well. But I wanted to talk about manual first. So the reason manual is so good is because certain cars, if you're running automatic, will automatically throw you in a higher or lower gear than you want to be in. And sometimes it's better to ride out a certain gear depending on how much nitrous you have, other than letting the automatic gearbox choose for you. For example, when you hit the nitrous and you're in a car with kind of a, I guess you could say, more slow clutch, and you switch gears and you hear that kind of bog, you're going to want to let off the nitrous while you're shifting gears, because for example a car like the 370Z Nismo is not going to allow you to keep picking up speed while you're shifting gears. Obviously, I don't know why that's a thing. I don't know why you can't just have a clutch on your controller, but for now you will have to let off while you're shifting in a car with a slower shifting gearbox. That's just how it is. But manual is always going to be the better option over automatic, because you can select exactly which gear you want to be in per corner, and also you have the ability to shift as fast as possible when launching a car instead of spinning. As you guys saw at the beginning of the Jesco race, you want to rewind, I shift straight into 4th gear as quickly as possible. So that's up to you guys if you guys want to run that, but I highly recommend it. Alrighty, and at the number 4 spot on my list here, I have traction control setting. Now, I have my best controller settings in the GT500 video, but I think I'm going to make a standalone video for that as well. But I just want to let you guys know traction control will always be better on sport, and I believe it has a lot to do with your times. If you turn traction control completely off, you're going to spin at the beginning of the race and lose about 1 to 2 seconds, maybe even 3 seconds right off the rip. So you're going to be instantly slower than everybody else, unless for some reason you get pushed around in a Grand Prix race. But you're most likely not going to want traction control to be completely off. You're always going to want to keep it on sport, and you don't want it to be completely on because you want the wheels to slip a little bit, as a little bit of wheel spin is always a good thing, but too much, obviously you're going to be completely sideways, and absolutely none, you're most likely going to be a lot slower than the person that can have a little bit of understeer or a little bit of oversteer and still maintain the inertia of whatever kind of turn they're performing and be able to go off-road as well. If you're going off-road and on-road, you're going to lose speed with traction control on, and that's just how it is. Alrighty guys, now the third thing, let off when you're taking shortcuts. Now what I mean by that is if you're taking a shortcut and it involves an off-road section, for example in the Jesco race I had to go off-road completely and shoot across the dirt, and it was way faster than taking that little corner. Or for example in the 370Z race I go off-road a few times, you're going to want to make sure you're let off there. If you're on throttle, your car is going to spin. If you're on throttle and you take a jump off-road and you're landing off-road again, you're going to shoot in that direction, and that's just how it is. Especially in that hypercar, that Jesco, I never missed that shortcut after I started letting off in the off-road section of that. Shout out to Kois for basically telling me, yo dog, just let off, because I was just gunning it through there. You may lose a mile per hour or two, but the consistency of it is way higher, and it will increase your consistency as well as your speed, because you won't be stressing about crashing every time you go take a shortcut. It also helps as well if you catch yourself falling into the dirt to let off and slowly apply throttle to get yourself back on the road, and you're not restarting. For example, you're in a grand race you're going to want to let off if you're in the dirt in order to catch your grip just a little bit. Slowly apply the throttle and get yourself back on the road. Now, number 2, we're going to talk about using your NOS properly, okay? You're only going to want to stay and use the top half of your nitrous unless you have an extremely long straightaway where you're going to want to use the entire bottle of nitrous, or you're nearing the end of a race. Try to stay in the top half of your nitrous bar as much as you can because it will refill faster, and I've heard it's slightly stronger. So always stay in the top half of your bar unless you're approaching a very long straightaway and you're going to use a full bar, or you're approaching obviously the end of the track and you want to get that last extra burst of speed. Also, knowing when and when not to use your nitrous is a big part of your times being either faster or slower. For example, in the Jesco, if I felt the car wasn't turning hard enough, I could pump the nitrous and the car will lift up on whatever side I'm turning at and will turn a little bit harder. And that's just that car. Certain cars don't act like that. I hit nitrous in a corner in a Hellcat, for example, or a Ford GT500, that thing's just going to spin. But in the Jesco, since it's so planted and it's a hypercar and has so much downforce, for some reason when I hit the nitrous, it obviously picks the car up because of the airplane wing on the back of it, and it almost dang near starts to pick up and fly off. But because it's Motorfest, for some reason the car sticks to the ground enough to the point where it sucks it back down and takes the corner even a little bit harder. So that's just something to look out for, is when to use your nitrous. Car specific, it may matter. Some cars don't like nitrous in the corners at all. The Jesco liked nitrous in the corners, so I used it to my advantage and it got me a faster time than I had previously. Alrighty guys, now at the number 1 spot, we're going to talk about gutters in the Crew Motorfest. Now, gutters are definitely the quickest way and fastest way to improve your times. They are the difference maker in races like the one you see behind me that have any kind of toge mountain section. If you can grab 2 tires off-road in the dirt, it's basically like grabbing a gutter and an initial D. If you guys don't know what that is, you should look it up on YouTube and that'll teach you all you need to know. This is the quickest way to take any corner unless you're going over a certain speed, which I believe would probably be like 200 miles per hour, and you're on a primarily straight corner. You don't really need it there. It's not going to help you at all. You want to take it for those corners that just might be a little bit too sharp that you don't want to brake or let off for. The dirt will slow you down just enough and you won't have to brake or decelerate. And if you want to actually use the gutters without really losing any speed at all, you can hit the nitrous in them. Good luck with that. Your car may over rotate, but if you get good enough with it, you can do what I did like with the Jesco and what I'm doing with this F12 here in the background. With good enough throttle control, you can keep your car from spinning out. The car will try to fight you inside these gutters because I don't know if it was intentional, but there's some weird grip mechanic there, okay? So just letting you know, if you can control it, the gutters are the quickest and fastest way to improve your times by multiple seconds. Trust me, especially on mountain sections. It's literally meta, okay? There is literally no other way to take the corners in this game, specifically that have any kind of slight off-road section next to them that are a little bit tighter than your average, you know, bend on an off-ramp. These are probably the best things to ever happen to this game, and I absolutely love the mechanic. I think it's super duper fun. And the last one I want to talk about, just a consolation prize, it's just practice, man. Learning your tracks, learning your shortcuts is going to instantly make you faster regardless. This is just kind of an honorable mention here, but obviously everybody talks about no matter what you want to get better at in life, you're going to need to practice at it. And knowing what's ahead of you before attacking it at any point in anything in life is always going to be better. If you can study, prepare, and then execute, you're going to be more efficient, period. And that's just in life. So I appreciate you guys for tuning into today's tips and tricks video. I'm going to let the rest of the gameplays play out. I appreciate you guys for tuning in to yet again another Crew Motorfest video. If you guys want more content like this, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be daily uploading Motorfest, so make sure you guys have the notification bell on so you guys never miss a video. I'll see you guys in the next one, and I'm out. Peace. I mean, that shit.